Hello students, this is Akshata, your educator. I welcome you all on the platform of Global Online. So as we know friends, Global Online platform has launched a complete course for upcoming Maharashtra Law CET entrance examination 2023, and in this particular course we'll be discussing the whole syllabus for upcoming CET examination. Okay, so before moving into the video friends, today we'll be discussing about the topic named as clock. Okay, as already we have discussed in part 1 some of the questions, and in today's lecture we'll be discussing the remaining one. So before moving into the video, let us discuss what are the features of this complete course launched by Global Online platform. Here you'll be provided with the full syllabus live video lectures, full syllabus notes, full syllabus video lectures. Okay, at the same time 2000 plus MCQ question bank, mock test will be provided to you, and all these above features, okay, including the mock test, including the notes PDF, live video lectures, 2000 plus MCQ question bank, it will be provided to you in the course fees of 2000 rupees. Simply ये जो दिए हुआ व्हाट्सएप नंबर है इसके ऊपर आपको कांटेक्ट करना है, and you can get enrolled to the course. If you want to get enrolled to the course, you can also follow another step for this, that is you can install the Global Online application from the Play Store. Once you'll install it, open the application, you'll find such interface. In this particular interface there is an icon named as store icon. Click on it, you'll move to the page called as my courses, where there is a search tab. In that particular search tab आपको CET type करना है. Once you'll type CET, course along with the fees will be displayed downwards, and hence you can get enrolled to the course. So without any further ado, let us begin with today's lecture. So basically friends, in today's lecture we will discuss different questions from the clock topic of the reasoning for mathematics paper 1. Okay, in this particular video of today's we will discuss the different categories of the course questions that can be asked from this particular topic. Now the very first question I have given to you over here is, we have to find the angle that has been made by hour hand and the minute hand at the time 7:20. Okay, now this is the question that we will solve once, okay, biologically, but I'll give you some of the short tricks by which you can solve such kind of questions, that is directly when it comes into the examination. Okay, so before giving the trick, I would like to tell you that how logically we can solve this particular question. Now what question has been given here is, we have to find the angle that the hour hand and minute hand is making at the time of 7:20. Okay, as we know, I have told you some of the facts in the last, that is previous lecture, that is 1 minute is equivalent to, once again I will revise those things that I have told you in yesterday's lecture. 1 minute is equivalent to 6 degrees. Okay, in 1 minute the minute hand is covering how much degrees? It is covering 6 degrees. Okay, so in 5 minutes, we find 30 degrees. Okay, in 5 minutes the minute hand will cover how much degrees? It will cover 30 degrees. Okay, so basically if we go for 1 hour, in 1 hour we can find there are 60 minutes. Okay, in 1 hour there are 60 minutes, and in 60 minutes how many degrees are getting covered by the minute hand? That is 360 degrees are getting covered by the minute hand. Okay, as I told you, the things that you have to keep in mind, that is hour hand in 1 hour makes an angle of 30 degree. Okay, this was one thing, that is the hour hand is making, the hour hand in 1 hour is making the angle of 30 degree. Minute hand in 5 minutes, is making the angle of 30 degree. Okay, this was the thing that you have to keep in mind. And hour hand in 1 hour covers a distance of 5 minutes. Hour hand is covering, or we can say hour hand in 1 hour is covering the distance of how much minutes? It is covering the distance of 5 minutes. So if you are not able to understand this, so go through the lecture, that is the previous lecture that have already uploaded regarding the clock, that is part 1. Okay, so in today's lecture we will discuss the questions regarding this. So what I have given is, what we have to find in this very first question that we have to find is the angle made by the minute hand and hour hand at 7:20. Now when I draw this particular time on this diagram, on this clock, this is 7. Okay, this is 7 and this is 20, that is at 4. Okay, this is the hour hand, this is this one is the hour hand, then this one is the minute hand. Okay, so For understanding this, now we have to find the angle in between both of them. We have to find the angle in between the both of them. So to find this, what we will do is, as we know the thing that 1 hour के अंदर, in 1 hour, how many degrees are getting covered? In 1 hour, the hour hand is covering 30 degrees. In 1 hour, the hour hand is covering 30 degrees. So in 7 hours, the hour hand will cover how much degrees? How we can solve this? It is 7 hours into 30 degree, that is 210 degrees. So basically in 7 hours, if we calculate the time that, so the degree that has been covered in 7 hours by the our hand, it will be 7 into 30 degrees, that will be 210 degrees. Okay, so basically when we, now here 7 hours are have been calculated, but what we have to calculate again is 20 minutes, right? For calculating the 20 minutes, what we will do is, as we know 7 hours 20 minutes, for converting the 20 minutes into hours, what we can do is 7 hours 20 divided by 60. If we do 20 divided by 60, we can directly convert into hour, right? So 7 1 by 3. Okay, 7 1 by 3 hours. Okay, for 7 hours, as we know, it is covering 210 degrees. So for 1/3, how much it will cover? As we know, for 1 hour it is covering 30 degrees. So for 1/3 hour, it will cover 1/3 into 30 degrees, right? 1/3 into 30 degrees, that is 3 tens are 30, that is 10 degrees, right? So for 7 hours it is covering 210 degrees, and for 1/3 hour it is covering how much degrees? That is 10 degrees. Basically it is covering 220 degrees. Okay, for 7 hours 20 minutes it is covering, for 7 hours 20 minutes it is covering 220 degrees. Basically what we have to find over here now, this is the time for 7 hours and 20 minutes. Now what we have to find is the angle in between them, right? For 720. So how we can do is, when we subtract that 5 minutes and 20 minutes angle from them, okay, as we know this is for the 7 hours, right? So basically when we subtract the angle for 20 minutes from this, we will get the angle for what? 7 hours 20 minutes, right? We have find out this one, right? We have to subtract this much amount of time from this, right? So how we can find out? It will be 210 minus of now for 5 minutes, as we know, for 5 minutes the minute hand is covering 30 degree, right? For 5 minutes, we are talking here about the minute hand. Okay, we are talking here about the minute hand. For 5 minutes it is covering 30 degrees. So for 20 minutes, how many it will cover? It is going to cover 120 degrees. Am I right? This is, we are talking regarding the minute hand, right? So when we subtract this much amount of the time, we will get the angle between this. Okay, when we subtract this much amount of time from this much, right, we will get the angle, this one, right? That is between the 720, that is 100 degree. Okay, so 100 degree is the angle between what? Between 720. Okay, so to solve these questions in short minute of time, that is short period of time, trick के साथ कैसे solve करना है, I'll give you one formula over here. When we directly put the values of the hours and the minute, respective minute that has been given in the question, if we put those time or the values in the formula, we can directly obtain the answer from this. Okay, this was the question that is solved like with the lengthy procedure. Okay, हमको ये procedure follow नहीं करना है, we have to follow the smaller one. Okay, if you are not able to understand, no problem, we will go through the shortcut. Okay, basically now I'm going to give you a formula over here. Whenever we have to find the angle, if the question they have directly mentioned that we have to find the angle between what? We have to find the angle between the hour hand and minute hand at a particular respective time given in the question. Okay, at that time what we have to use the formula, I'll give you the formula. The formula or the short trick that we have to use is 30 hours. Okay, 30h, not 30 hours, it is 30h minus 11 by 2 m. This is the formula. Okay, this formula you have to use in any kind of question where the angle has been asked us to find out, where we have to find the angle between the hour hand and minute hand when a particular time is given. Okay, such kind of questions can be directly solved with this particular formula. अगर ये formula आपने एक बार दिमाग में रख दिया, you can find any questions answer. Okay, so if we go by this formula, what we can find over here is the time mentioned is 7 hours 20 minutes. So basically 7 is hours and 20 is what? Minute, right? When we put this value in this particular formula, that is 30 into 7 hours is given, right? Divided minus 11 by 2, and what is minute given over here? That is 20 minutes, right? When we solve this question, what we can find is 7 3s are 21, that is 210 minus 110, that is 100. So this is what the 100 degree is the angle made by the hour hand and minute hand at 7:20. Okay, at the time of 7:20 it is making the angle of 100 degree. In this way we can directly solve the answer. Okay, with this particular formula. Now this formula is only up to the degrees 180 degree. If for example, okay, if you will understand this, actually you will understand this what I want to tell you in the next example. So basically here you have to just remind this formula. Okay, you have to remember this formula in your mind, and the formula is 30h minus 11 by 2 minute whenever we have to find between whenever we have to find the angle between the hour and the minute hand. Okay, this is the short trick that we have to keep in mind. Okay, next question now. To what degree will the hour hand make an angle from 12 to 6 o'clock? Now, to what degree will the hour hand will make an angle from 12 to 6 o'clock? Basically, what is given here, when we find 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, we have a difference of how many degrees over here. That question is asked to us. Okay, to what degree will the hour hand make an angle from 12 to 6 o'clock? Basically, for example, the hour hand is at 12 o'clock. Okay, now the hour hand has started moving from 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. In this way, the hour hand when moves to 6 o'clock, then what degree it has covered, the question is asked to us over here. So as we know that in 1 hour, the hour hand is covering how much degrees? It is covering the 30 degrees. As we know that, for example, the hour hand was at 12. Okay, now the hour hand has moved at 1. So what we get from this, that hour hand in 1 hour is covering how much degrees? It is covering 30 degrees. So basically in 6 hours, as we know, the difference between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock is of how much hours? It is a difference of 6 hours. 12 minus 6 is equals to 6 hours. So for 1 hour it is covering 30 degrees. So for 6 hours, how much it will cover? 6 into 30. That is 6 into 30 degrees. That is 180 degrees. So basically it is covering angle of 180 degree when it is moving from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Okay, it is covering an angle. It is covering an angle of 180 degree. Now this is the question that we can directly imagine and solve it. Okay, there is no need of use of pen over here. Okay, so to find the angle between 12 to 6, we can directly imagine for 1 hour it is covering 30 degrees. So from 1 to 6 it will cover 180 degrees. Okay, moving on to the next question now. Same question, what degree will our hand make an angle from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock? Okay, now our hand is at 11. Our hand is at 11. Okay, imagine the our hand is at 11. Now our hand will start moving from 11 to 12, from 12 to 1, and 1 to 2 o'clock. So we have to find what angle it is making when it is moving from 11 to 2. So basically, again, as we know that our hand in 1 hour, our hand, we are talking about the hour hand. Okay, our hand in 1 hour is covering how many degrees? It is covering 30 degrees. Okay, so in what is the difference of the time between 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock? That is 12 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, there is difference of how many hours? 3 hours. That is 12 to 1 hour, 12 to 2 1 hour, 12 to 1 1 hour, and 1 to 2 1 hour. So basically there are 3 hours over here. So basically if we calculate the degree that the angle is, sorry, that the our hand is making when it is moving from 11 to 2, so basically it is covering 3 hours. That is, in 1 hour it is covering 30 degrees, so in 3 hours it will cover 3 into 30 degrees. So basically answer will be 90 degrees. Okay, so whenever the our hand is moving from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, then the angle made by the our hand from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock will be 90 degree. Okay, so here we'll mention the angle that is 90 degree. In this way we'll solve the question. Now moving on to the next question. A clock is showing the time of 8 o'clock. What will be the time after our hand rotates and makes 150 degree? Okay, the question asked over here is a clock is showing the time of 8 o'clock now. Right now the time is 8 o'clock. For example, this is the hour hand and this is the minute hand. Okay, now the time in the clock is 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 o'clock. The time in the clock is 8 o'clock, right? So basically, what will be the time after after our hand rotates and makes 150 degree? Now the question asked to us over here is our hand is rotating for our hand is rotating for 150 degree. तब का time पूछा है, right? So what we will find is, as we know, our hand in 1 hour. Our hand in 1 hour makes 30 degree. So basically how much time it will cover in 150 degree? Okay, so how we'll find it? We'll cross multiply it. 150 degree into 1 hour divided by 30 degree will be the time that is covered by the hour hand. So answer will be 3 5s are 15. So 5 hours. 5 hours it is covering. So basically the time right now is 8 o'clock. Now the time before was 8 o'clock. Before crossing the 150 degree, the time was 8 o'clock. After crossing 150 degree, what will be the time is the question asked. Okay, what will be the time right now? What will be the time when it is crossing 150 degree? As we know, in 150 degree it is crossing 5 hours. So basically add 5 hours in 8 o'clock. Okay, when we do 8 o'clock plus 5 hours, we'll get 1 o'clock as the answer. So basically directly we can solve this answer. How? Once again I'll tell you. As we know, in 1 hour the hour hand, once again the 1 hour our hand is covering 30 degrees. So basically it will cover 150 degrees in 5 hours. It will cover 150 degree in 5 hours, right? This is the answer. But what they have asked to us over here is what will be the time now. So basically 8 was the time before moving, right? After rotation of this hour hand by 150 degree, that is the time will be 1 o'clock. Okay, the time will be 1 o'clock. So basically how we'll find this answer? We have done 8 o'clock plus 5 hours. Okay, when we do 8 o'clock plus 5 hours, we will get 1 o'clock as the time. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12 is the 4 hours, and from 12 to 1 it will be 5 hours. So basically the answer will be 1 o'clock. So in this way they will solve this answer. Now next question. A clock is showing the time of 11. What will be the time after our hand rotates and makes 60 degree? Okay. Question asked is a clock is showing the time. Similarly, like the last question, a clock is showing the time of 11. What will be the time after our hand rotates and makes 60 degree? Once again, the answer will be the same pattern as we have solved in the last previous question. As we know, 1 hour के अंदर our hand is rotating by 30 degrees. Once again, in 1 hour, the our hand rotates by 30 degrees. Now the clock is showing the time of 11. The data given in the question is that the our hand is at 11.
Okay, now what will be the time after our hand rotates and makes 60 degree? Basically the our hand is rotating and making 60 degrees, right? So we have to find the time when our hand is rotating by 60 degree, right? How we'll find it? We'll find it x is equals to 60 divided by 30 degrees. So basically 2 hours, right? It is rotating by 2 hours. At that time it is covering how much? 60 degree. This can be solved directly. Look, 1 hour के अंदर it is crossing 30 degrees, so in 2 hours it will cross 60 degree. So basically when it was covering before rotating, the time was 11 o'clock, so add 2 hours in 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock plus 2 hours, this is equals to 1 o'clock, right? So as I told you, once again I'll tell you that in 1 hour our hand is covering 30 degrees, so in 2 hours it will cover 60 degree. When the time was 11 o'clock, we have to add 2 hours in the 11 o'clock. It means it will be 1 o'clock. So a clock is showing the time, that is 1 o'clock. In this way we'll find the answer. Nextly, find the angle made by the hour and minute hand at 5 o'clock. Now find the angle made by the hour hand and minute hand at 5 o'clock. As I told you that whenever the question has been asked that we have to find an angle that the hour hand and minute hand is making at one particular time, then what we will do is we will directly put the formula. What was the formula? The formula was 30h minus 11 by 2m. This was the formula, right? So when we put these values in this particular formula, we can directly derive the answer. Okay, but basically here minutes are not mentioned, so this formula has no use. Okay, we can directly find it out, but whenever the minutes as well as the hours are mentioned, we will use the formula. That is, we'll see in the next upcoming examples. So basically we have to find the angle that the hour and minute hand is making at 5 o'clock. The time is 5 o'clock, right? This is the minute hand, this is the hour hand. We have to find this particular angle. Okay, we have to find this particular angle that both are making. Now as we know that in 1 hour the hour hand will cover 30 degrees. So basically in 5 hours it will cover how much degrees? It will cover 150 degrees. So basically the minute hand and hour hand has a difference of 150 degree angle. Okay, they make an angle of 150 degree. So for 7 o'clock, if we have to find for the 7 o'clock, what we will do is 7 into 30 degrees. As we know, for 1 hour it is 30 degrees, so for 7 hours it will be 7 into 30 degrees, that is 210 degrees. If we have to find the same one for 9 o'clock, how will find it? We have to find it in the same way, right? So nextly, moving on to the next question, what degree will the hour hand make an angle from 10 to 6 o'clock, right? From 10 to 6 o'clock. Now as we know, in 1 hour the hour hand is making 30 degree wala angle, so from 10 to 6 o'clock how much it will make, right? The question is asked, what is the degree will the hour hand make an angle from 10 to 6? Now what is the difference of hour between 10 to 6? If we do, we get 8 hours, right? 10 to 6. So basically how much hour difference is here? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, 4 hour, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So basically there is 8 hours difference. So for 8 hours it will cover 8 into 30 degrees. As for 1 hour, the hour hand is covering 30 degrees. So for 8 hours it will cover how much degrees? It will cover 8 into 30 degrees, that is 240 degrees. The answer to the question, very simple. That is, from 10 o'clock, the hour hand was first at 10 o'clock. The hour hand was first at 10 o'clock. And this hour hand is going to move from 10 to 6. Okay, यहाँ तक आएगा. So what is the degree of angle it is covering? So for 1 hour it will cover 30 degrees. This is for example 1 hour. Okay, for 1 hour it is covering how much degree? This is 30 degrees. For 2 hours 60. For 3 hours basically 90. So in this way it will cover total degree that is equal to 240 degrees from 10 to 6 o'clock. So moving on to the next question now. To what degree will our hand will make an angle from 1 to 630? Okay, from now this is something of this topic of discussion here, but nothing but simple tricks have been used. Again, for 1 hour, as we know, for 1 hour it is covering the hour hand is covering degree of 30 degree. In 1 hour it is covering 30 degrees, right? So from 1 to 6:30, now from 1 to 6:30 it has to move. For example, the hour hand is at 1 o'clock. Now this hour hand is going to move up to where? From 6 to 6:30. Okay, from 1 to 6:30, this will move from 1 to 6:30. So what is the time between 1 to 6:30? Time is of 5 hours 30 minutes, right? 5 hours and 30 minutes. So basically for 1 hour it is covering 30 degrees. So for 5 hours it will cover 5 into 30 degree, that is 150 degree, right? And for 30 minutes, it will cover how much degrees? It will cover 15 degrees. As for 1 hour it is covering 30 degrees, so half of 1 hour is 30 minutes, that is 15 degree. So 150 degree plus 15 degree will be 165 degree. That is the answer to the question. That is, whenever the hour hand is moving from 1 o'clock to 6:30, then it is covering 165 degrees. So angle between them will be 165 degrees, right? So in this way we have to find the answer to the question. Now next question is, find the angle made by the hour hand and minute hand at 6:20. Okay, now as I told you, whenever we have to find the angle between the hour hand and minute hand at one particular time, that is 6:20 for example, we can directly find by the formula 30h minus 11 by 2m, right? This is the formula. Now as we know, 6 is what? 6:20. Here 6 denotes hours and 20 denotes the minutes. Putting this particular value in this given formula, 30 into 6 minus 11 by 2 into minutes, how much? There are 20 minutes, right? So answer will be 6 3s are 18, that is 180, minus 2 10s are, that is minus 110. So answer will be what? Answer will be 70 degrees, right? So whenever the angle the angle made by the hour hand and minute hand at 6:20, that is 6:20 minute, 6:20 minute. Okay, 6:20 minute, at that time the angle made by the hour hand and minute hand will be 70 degrees. So this is how we find the answer directly by the formula. Okay, moving on to the next example now. Find angle made by the hour hand and minute hand at 10:10 minutes. Okay, now this is the topic of discussion here. जब कभी the time, sorry, let us discuss once, then we'll understand over here. Here again we'll solve this question by the formula itself, right? As we know, we have to find the angle made by the hour hand and minute hand at one particular time, that is particular hour is given and minute is given, right? So here 10 is denoting hour and 10 is also denoting the minute, right? So put the values in the particular formula, that is 30 into 10 hours minus 11 by 2 into 10 minutes, right? This is the formula. So what will be the answer? 300 minus, this is 2 5s are minus 55. Okay, so angle is 245 degrees. Angle is coming to 45 degrees. Now this is the angle that is greater than 180 degree. Now this is the case that you have to remember, that whenever we are using this formula, whenever we are using this formula and the angle is coming greater than 180 degree, whenever the angle is greater than 180 degree, what we have to do is we have to minus that particular answer from 360 degree, right? We have to minus that particular angle from 360 degree, that is 150 degree will be the answer to the question. Now what is the difference in this particular question? In this previous question, what we have find is, we have used this formula 30 hours minus 11 by 2 minutes, right? Here we have used the formula whenever we have to find the angle between the hour hand and minute hand at particular given time, that is hours are given and minutes are given, at that time we are using this formula, no doubt. But if the answer is less than 180 degree, then that is the right answer. But whenever the answer here is coming greater than 180 degree, at that time we have to subtract that particular angle from 360 degree to get that right answer. So this is the short trick that we have to keep in mind. Whenever the angle is less than 180 degree, less than 180 degree, like 70 degree over here, then this is the right answer. But whenever the angle is coming greater than the 180 degree, at that time we have to subtract it from the 360 degree to get the right answer. So this was the case that we have to keep in mind. Nextly, we have next question over here. Find the angle made by the hour and minute hand at 8:40. At 8:40 we have to find the angle made by the hour hand and minute hand. Now no doubt, without any doubt, what we will do is 30h minus 11 by 2m. This is the formula that we have to use over here. Now 8 is hour and 40 is minute, so basically 30 into 8 we will do, and 11 by 2 into minute kitna hai, 40. So what will be the answer? 240 minus 20 and 220, right? So basically the answer is here 20 degrees. So this is less than, it is less than what, it is less than 180 degrees. So here this is the right answer. But if the answer is greater than 180 degree, at that time what we have to do, we have to subtract that particular angle from 360 degree. In this way we have solved different questions that can be asked from the clock topic regarding the reasoning for maths paper 1, as well as for paper 2 also. This is important, but specifically we are discussing, or we are dealing with the mathematics paper series 1, so we will discuss such questions over here only. Okay, so in today's work you have to solve this question. Try to solve this. I have given you the question, that is, a clock is showing the particular time of 1 o'clock. What will be the time after the hour needle turns 180 degree? I'll try to explain you over here. Okay, question. Now the time given over here is 1 o'clock. Basically the hour hand is at 1. Okay, consider the hour hand only over here. This is the hour hand. Now the clock is showing the time of 1 o'clock. What will be the time after the hour needle turns an angle of 180 degree? When the hour needle is now turning the angle of 180 degree, we have to find the time. Basically, how we'll find it? This is, for example, 3 o'clock. Okay, this is 3 o'clock. Now from 3 o'clock it is crossing 180 degrees. It means it is moving to time called 9. This is 3, right? So in this way, tell me the answer. When the clock is showing the hour hand at 1 and it is crossing 180 degrees, then what will be the time? Now this is something I have really given you the answer over here, but basically I want the answer from your side. So please do comment in the comment section. And this was the end of today's lecture. In today's lecture we have discussed many questions regarding the clock portion. At the same time, thank you for watching.